we should be live.
Are we going?
I think so. Looks like it. We should be live, and
Are we actually live?
so
This is like, it's a first, Richard, isn't it? Actual first for us, live on the banks. Obviously we do our live Q&As, but that's just from our like bedrooms and kitchens, and Jamie's always lied down flat on his back on his floor, isn't he?
you're
We
in like
are.
any random room in your house. I'm just getting the comments up on my phone so I can see what's going on.
We're on the banks of the beautiful Cudmore Fisheries on probably my favourite lake in the world, the Drumble Lake. And I'm going to catch some fish live as we go. And you can ask me anything you want. Fishing related though, folks, please. Keep it clean. Yeah?
You gonna do
it
some
very
fishing?
clean. Are we doing? Are we
You may as well go
I'm
do some
just getting
fishing,
giddy.
seeing as
Right,
that's
go
what
ahead.
we're here to do.
Go on then, let's go and catch some fishes. What we're going to catch first, I reckon we'll catch a skimmer first, and then hopefully Ide or Thomas's or Crucians. That's what I'm saying. Put a few Pelowits in there. Dink, 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 dink. Flick that out. Have you had any questions through yet?
Who's saying what? Robert Prudeau saying good luck. Ryan saying it's working, which is always a benefit.
Yes.
Lance Rayner saying hello. Wayne Harris, hi all, and Andrew of the May.
Go ahead. Oh, that was a little bobby one.
Did you just miss a bite?
No, it was a liner. Don't forget, I have been pre-baiting it for quite a while, so I may have a few fish off as the bottom.
What do we think the first fish is going to be?
Oh, nobody. I think that was a foul hooked roach.
Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
So, Lee Wilson saying, are you not on Panama today?
No, it was fully booked today.
It's been very busy, hasn't it? They've opened it back up to fishing.
They've had, yeah, opened. So, yeah, those of you who don't know, it was originally shut, I think, the end of March, but it's back open again now. So, Drumble and Panama are back open for the rest of the summer, which is great. But there's been a match on the arena today, a fire service match. I don't know how that's got on, but I'd imagine like £1 million would have won on there. And every peg's been taken on Panama today. I've been coaching these two chaps over here, Phil and Tony, and it's been amazing. Loads of big skimmers, loads of Ide, big Ide, some huge carp. It's going to be a skimmer, isn't it? Said it'd be a little skimmers to start with. Little baby pompadons. I'm sure we're going to encounter some bigger fish. Look at him, 10 out of 10. Absolutely perfect. You're not giving me that 10 out of 10? Come on.
So,
10
what
out
have
of
we
10.
got? Mick Russell, where's Jamie? Where's Jamie tonight? Has he been fishing today, or?
I don't even know what he's been doing. I've not spoke to him. I've not even got any tips about tomorrow or anything yet.
David Kell, any tips for Big Max this weekend?
Method right tight to the island, and I would go pellets at sort of 14.5 metres, 6mm pellets. There's a lot of big F1s in, loads of big F1s in fact, and big carps. So margins last sort of like hour and a half, 2 hours, with stodgy micros and corn right in the edges, some massive carp in, but you need to be fishing 14.5 in the island really, with 6mm pellets.
So, technical question.
Go ahead.
John Potts, how do you decide what depth/distance from the bank to set your short line?
I mean, if it's mainly F1s, then obviously you can get away with fishing much shorter. So what we're saying, top kit, you know, if you've got the depth, if you've got sort of like 3 foot or something like that, you'll catch really short. If it's a bit shallower, just go out until you find like 3 foot ideally, something like that. But there's no right and wrong with it. If it's carp, I'd go a little bit longer or down the bank. But certainly F1 wise, you can generally, you don't have to go that far out for F1s, as long as there's sort of like a bit of colour in the water, I'd say as well.
Ooh, few people. What's the chance of actually catching an instant today on air?
There's quite a few in. A lot of them have turned brown though. A lot of them, you know, like they change colour.
What, like an instant with a suntan?
Yeah. There's a few like golden orangey ones and there's a few like proper red ones, so if I do you reckon I just go straight in?
Can you take your mic off first if you do?
Oh yeah, that's the point. Hey up! Hey, we got a jumper. I knew it wouldn't be too long. So there's loads of these in here, folks. Now I'm not fishing obviously natural baits today, as you can see. It's all out pellets, simply because if I was to fish my usual, look at them beauties, my usual maggots and casters on here, it'd be absolutely carnage with everything really, but there's so many like little roaching. So by fishing pellets, I'm just sort of getting through them. I'm still going to get the odd one, little skimmers and that, but everything else, because the people who fish on here, you know, they're all fishing for the big carp, so they're all putting pellets in. So
do you want to talk us through the rig quick, just whilst you've
right,
got
go
it
on,
out?
let me start from the top then. Let me just put a little bit of bait in. Let me start from the top. So first things first, elastic wise, which one am I going at? That one. First things first, elastic wise, because we're likely to encounter anything from little baby skimmers and roach and gougeons all the way up to carp, you know, well into double figures, you know, probably just over 20 pounds. So it's hard, but you need elastic to pretty much cover everything. So that's why I've gone for the white Dura hybrid. It's soft enough, obviously you've seen with that skimmer, you know, you get a good couple of foot coming out, but when you do get something a little bit bigger like the Crucians and Tensure in here, it's lovely to cope for them. So that's what elastic we've got on. Got a little baby pot on just so we can put some pellets in. Yeah, only putting sort of like 6 or 7 pellets in. I'm loose feeding over the top. Main line is 0.18 AccuPower. Get on this one, where are we on? That is my main line, 0.18 AccuPower. We have got a 414's F1 maggot float on. Just got a little tiny trimmer stot under the float, just a number 12, just to bring that bristle right down. And then shot in, we talked through this blooming loads, haven't we, folks? I've literally just got a tapered shot in of number 9s. I've got 7 number 9 shots on there. Where's my last one ending? What number's that? 18. So 18 inches, that's where my last one's ending. And then it's just getting gradually bigger and bigger, the gap. And then we've got a 4-inch. Now, this might sound a little bit heavy for silvers, but bear in mind, there's a lot of colour in this lake. And they do get fished for quite often on much heavier line that I'm using. We've got 0.16, 4 inches of 0.16s to a size 16s KKH hook, and I've just got a banded 6mm pellet on. Doesn't get any simpler than that, does it? Dead simple, but as I say, I want to fish for sort of everything swimming, so 0.14 is my usual go-to, but with the size of the carp in here, you can't get away with 14. I might even get snapped on 16 should we hook a carp, because they are very, very large. And all I'm doing with the pot, I'm just getting 6 or 8 pellets, 6 mils, putting them in there, and then you'll see I'm putting the pellets in first, and then I'm flicking my rig out, and I'll explain why I'm flicking my rig out. So I'll get my marker there, which is my joint. So I'm flicking that rig out. The reason for that is so that my rig is coming back nice and natural onto the banking. So it's rock hard ground there where I am. Whereas out there, you'll see me feeding, I'm feeding another swim out there where, you guessed it folks, I'm going to fish shallow. You know I'm going to fish shallow. And I'm feeding 4mm pellets out there. Don't want to go anywhere near the bottom because it's horrendous and silty. It's fizzing like mad, but that's good for fishing shallow. You know, all that commotion and everything does get the fish nice and confident out there. So all we're doing, as I said, we're just waiting for a bite there, and I'm just going to loose feed a few sort of 6s over the top, give it a little bit of a movement just to bring it up that slope a little bit, get my bristle sitting a little bit higher. And you'll see when I strike, I'm just giving it a little dink. If I miss the bite, I'm just dropping it straight back down. Don't have to strike hard, it's a bare hook, you know what I mean? We don't have to strike through bait or anything like that. A little dink then. Still a few skimmers there. Listen, I have been pre-baiting it a bit, but before when I went in, I've had a couple of tench. Oh, there's a carp out on my shallow line. Oh dear. Yeah, before when I went in, I've had a couple of tench, I've had a big-eyed, I've had a big hybrid, I've just had that big skimmer. I don't really, I mean, it's quite deep. I didn't go through the depth with you. It's like 5.5 foot there. So pretty deep. I could probably catch shallow there, but match conditions, my shallow swim is going to be my main swim, and I want to keep that at distance. This will be where I'm starting off your session before I sort of like work my way out, if you like. Right. So don't want to loose feed loads over the top. It's again just sort of like 4 to 6 mils, that's all. But you see I'm constantly feeding through a catapult out on that long line because I do want to draw them up shallow there. As I said, we just had a carp through the swim out there.
Right, stop waffling.
I am waffling then,
are
aren't
waffling.
I? I was going for it then.
Wayne Harris,
Go ahead.
question on the Banoffee ground bait. How much water would you add to it when you're fishing it on the method?
Oh, you got to be careful. So normally with the with them kinds of ground baits, I'll just do like 1-to-1. But for the method, just add a little bit at a time until you get to like wet sand, and then leave it, and then it'll go really dry, and then really take your time with putting water on it. You don't want it like a wet sand for the method. You want it just sort of like in between sort of dry and wettish, if you like. So don't sort of like do a pint of ground bait, pint of water. Don't do that like you would with a normal Super Crush. Put the dry ground bait in first, and then just add a little bits of water at a time, and then just keep working it through. That'll be the best thing to do.
Hamish the Parrot, looking for a coaching day for him and a mate around the East Midlands, Leicestershire area. Any recommendations?
Who coaches round there? I don't know who coaches that. I don't know who coaches round there, Rich, do you? East Midlands, Leicester.
What's that round? Not Makins, is it?
No. Kieran Rich, I know he's sort of like Midlandsy way. Kieran's an awesome angler. I don't know. I don't know who coaches round there.
Most will travel a certain distance, won't
Oh
they?
yeah.
Right. Good question from Gary Brixton. With all them bubbles that he can see,
Yeah.
when would you be looking to plumb up again?
So when they're fizzing like that, what was his name, Rich? Gary?
Gary.
Yeah, when they're fizzing like that, Gary, I don't want to fish on the bottom because I know they're shallow. Basically, obviously, a percentage of pellets are getting down to the bottom. Go on, that's a tench. It might be crucian actually. A percentage will be getting down to the bottom of the pellets, but most of them will be getting munched on the way down. Now, what that creates is obviously fish charging through the swim, you know, getting loads of air in the gills and like, you know, proper erupting that water, the column, and that's what's creating the bubbles, you know, the vortexes are charging through your peg. So that's why I know they'll be shallow. If you were to go on the bottom there, your float would be all over the place, you'd be getting loads of liners, farlookers. So my pure intention is just to go shallow, because I've seen them swirling or swirling and everything. So that's what we're going to be doing out there. I mean, starting off wise, maybe would you try on the bottom? Yes, I suppose if it was early days. I mean, it's pretty obviously late on in the day today, and I've tried it a few times. I know it'll be shallow. Oh, it's a brown goldfish. Go on, the brown goldfish. So pretend that probably used to be like orange, that did. That's come from the stock ponds just over there on the arena pool. Beautiful that, isn't it? Like its own bred crucian and common carp in one. Absolute stunner that. Go on, the brown goldfish. I called that wrong, I thought that was a Thomas.
Shocking. So that's all like an instant win a few years ago.
Jamie'd claim it, wouldn't he? They don't open a blooming mouth though. A beautiful fish that.
Right, another question from Roy Cooling. Due to the change of weather tomorrow, what would you suggest as a starting point if a lake's 4 foot deep almost everywhere?
Where would you start, did you say, Rich?
Yeah.
Start off short, 4 foot deep, start off short on the bottom. You know, if you can find it a little bit shallower, Roy, like 3 foot, start there. Nothing much is going to change. If it's like going a little bit cooler, they might want to not come shallow, but usually in a depth of 4 foot, the fish will be all over the place. The beauty of this lake here, it's sort of 5.5, 6 foot out there, so the fish don't want to be in them deeper layers. They want to be in the warmer water. Whereas 4 foot, it's all going to be the same temperature. So I'd go up and down, have a swim at sort of like 12 or 30 metres up and down, but start off short where you can find like 3 foot on a slope or something. That's what I'd be doing. Nice. And just fish pellets.
Steve Edney, hi guys, when there's the next Q&A going to be? Well, you can ask your questions now if you want. We did one.
That's what we're here for.
When did we do one? Week ago, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was a week ago, wasn't it?
But we tend to do them every month, but we wanted to sort of try the technology out just to see if we can do a few from the bank as something a bit different. But yeah, any questions you got, put them in the comments.
Hey, our next Q&A might be this reshard, mightn't it?
Yeah.
Might be doing what we're doing.
And Sam wants to know, how long are you persisting with a shallow swim before giving up and saying it's not working?
I mean, shallow fishing's one of them, you know, you can't be despondent if you go on it after, say, you've been priming it for like half an hour and you don't catch. It's one of them lines or swims, if you like, that will get better the later on in the day that you go, you know, almost like a margin does. So you've just got to persevere with it. What I would say is wait until people start catching on it before you go on it. But you know, usually the fish give themselves away like they are out there now. You know, the fizzing and getting the odd swirl. They do usually give themselves away. So yeah, don't be despondent, just keep going with it. Keep that bait going in, that's the main thing. Go on. You like me accuracy with them pellets? Come on, you getting that on? You must be getting that on.
Who's this? Sir Dodgy Dave, what a great name. Hope you liked your ice water after the match at the Old Huff, Andy.
Oh yes, thank you very much, mate. That was so kind of you. Yeah, it didn't last long, that.
The only way it could have be improved
was if I caught some fish.
No, if it was an ice cold beer.
Oh well, yes. There's always that. I waited until I got home, Rich.
What, about 2 minutes?
5.
Andy, is it possible, this is Dave Tullock, is it possible for me to overfeed when fishing shallow?
Go on the goat! Just seen him, haven't we? We've just seen the
is
goat.
That Dave the goat?
It is with pellets, Dave, yeah, because obviously a heavier bait, they'll fall down to the bottom a lot quicker and fill the fish up a lot quicker. But with natural baits, no, I don't think it is. Definitely not. Certainly on the likes of Panama, you can't fill them up on there. Definitely not. So natural baits, no. Pellets, yes.
Nice. Gaz Wen, 22. Do you ever start off up in the water straight away in a match?
I personally don't, but I might be on it within sort of like, you know, one go like short or wherever I'm starting off. And then see him swirl straight away, then I'll be on it. The only time I would do would be if I was on a peg of muggers, you know what I mean? If there's a few muggers around, I'd 100% I'd start off doing that before I committed myself to shallow. Because usually you've got to sort of prime it for a bit first.
Jamie wants, not Jamie Hughes, Jamie Wayne, any chance of getting the pace down?
No.
Thought it'd be that.
Oh, Papa Doms.
Oh.
Right, I'm going to have one more go in, I'm going to go shallow. Got to go shallow, haven't we? Can't resist them shallow. I think it'd be all snarled up in great big uns there now, wouldn't you? Go on the Papa Doms.
Right, as you're going to go shallow.
Not yet.
Oh, you're not?
One more go. I've got to catch your tench, haven't I?
I'll ask you the shallow fishing question whilst you're trying to catch your tench then.
Go on then.
Catherine Portillo, I'm going to say. Do you prefer a jigger rig or the overshotted rig, and what are the benefits of each one?
So, for catching fish, you can't, 100% you can't beat overshotted rig. But obviously there's some venues where you're not allowed to do it, and obviously that's where a jigger would come in. Jigger's good on deeper venues where it's a little bit clearer, and obviously you can search the depths a lot better. But ultimately, if you're allowed to overshot, just overshot. Can't beat it. I'm not doing it today, man. We're fishing proper today.
Proper? What, with like actual floaty floats?
Actual floats, watching floats, missing bites, and fishing proper.
Lee Wilson's asking, would you consider doing a full 5-hour live match? We're having this conversation earlier.
Yeah, we were.
That potentially we need to get everything dialed in, but ultimately it comes down to if Starlink can get a signal. So if you go to a dead overgrown lake, it probably makes it quite tricky if you draw like a big parrot cagey peg.
It's not a tent. Right, we're going shell and catching some hide and skimmers and hybrids and possibly a carp.
Nice. What are you saying the first fish is going to be, shallow?
What am I, are you asking me that, or are you asking?
We need it in the comments, and we need your opinion.
Right, so I'm going to go, what am I going to go? I'm going to go hide. What are you going, Richard?
I'll be weird and say a skimmer.
A skimmer? What are you going, Mr. Cameraman?
Carp.
Ooh.
Carp?
12 pound.
Oh dear, I hope not. Right, are we got? Right, let me talk you through me shallow rig then. My actual proper shallow rig with rig with proper floats, proper line and proper shots. Again, still on the theme of, you know, there is some big fish in here, so we're fishing a little bit heavier. But in general, you can get away fishing heavier when you're fishing shallow. So we have got 0.18 mainline, AccuPower mainline again, little baby back shot. We've got a tiny 4B8 F1 shallow float with just a trimming shot underneath it, a number 11, and then I've just got 2 number 11s spaced evenly through the rig, and I've got a 0.16 again, 4 inches to a size 16s KK8 hook, and I've just got a banded red pellet on. Red pellet, it's one of them, obviously, work your way between a brown and a red pellet, but red pellet for me, it just stands out a little bit better. Probably not going to get biting it now, am I? But I think it's one of them, it's confidence thing. Oh, elastic wise, again, 13s, simply because, you know, we are likely to hook quite a few silvers, but if we do get a carp, then, you know, we should. I mean, they are flipping massive in here, but we should get them in. So, as always, with any form of shallow fishing, first thing you want to do is get some bait in first. Make sure we keep that little babby short swim topped up as well. Just going to put my pole together and feed again, and then let's get on it. So I'm saying eyed, Rich is saying what? Skimmer.
Skimmer.
And James is on Carpus Maximus. Right, here we go then. Wallop, wallop. Now obviously with this rig, obviously because it's not overshotted, it's a proper rig, we are going to miss a few bites. Nothing we can do about that. It's just one of them things, unfortunately. But hopefully we won't miss too many. I'm trying. There we go. I'm trying. What did I say it'd be?
Eyed.
I did say an eye, didn't I? I think it's a skimmer, Rich.
Is it?
Right, so the first thing you notice I do, when I slap that rig over, hold a tight line and that fish basically hooks itself. Next thing you want to do, once you've hooked the fish, I haven't done a good job of it, but get the fish out of your peg and then feed. Yeah, just come back a section or two, get some more pellets in there, feed. The single most important thing is that feeding. Then we'll ship back. It's either a great big id or a pomperdom. It'd be good if it was a Thomas, it's not a tench.
Have you ever caught a Thomas Shower?
Oh, loads, yeah. Used to win matches all the time on Brookside. Oh my days, folks, what have we got? Only the second bestest fish in the whole wide world, Mr. Isaac the Id, or Isabel the Id. Who knows? I don't know how you'd find out with ids. Just called it though, didn't I? Does that mean I can go for a pint after? They're just
Might let you.
absolutely stunning, aren't they?
Right.
Now, normally, folks, obviously, you'd think, Andrew, why are you not fishing casters or maggots shallow for them? But it's mad on here, obviously, because again, I said it when we started going, they see pellets all the time, and they just absolutely adore pellets. Can I mention about, this is where I went wrong when I drew on that same lake as Jamie when he was next peg, but even though he was half a mile away and he qualified for fish show, I got told to fish pellets, but I didn't fish casters.
Sounds about right.
Ah, shut up. No one's interested, Rich. No one's interested.
Right.
That's my excuse anyway.
Should we do some questions?
How good's that? No, just let me say, just before we get going again, Rich, obviously shallow fishing, because we're using stots, make sure everything's nice and even through the rig, and we're going again. Right, go on. You may continue, CEO.
Steve Edney. I volunteer for Second Chance Kids charity, teaching the kids how to fish, and I'm not sure on copyright laws. Do you mind if I use some of your basics pole lessons to help me teach them? Yeah?
Of course you can.
Yeah, as long as you're not selling them. Give them away free and
Oh
it's
yeah,
fine.
if you sell them, like, we want a whack of the money, or all of it.
We'll go halves if you sell them.
No, give us all the proceeds, how dare you?
Right, who guessed what? Oh no, that was a question.
Has anyone got an id?
Who said Ides?
Who'd have thought ids would be like pellet fish?
Gaz was the first one to guess an Ide.
No, I was.
Well,
Shut
in the
up,
comments.
Richard. Shut up, guys. I was the first one to say ids.
So Roy Pilkington, what's your go-to hook size for mugging carp?
Oh, nice. 14s. 14s with the Jamie Special. Should we show the mugging rig? I don't know if we'll get to use it. Should we show it later on, just in case? Oh, it's a popperdom.
Oh, I was one early.
Oh, Rich. Imagine if we catch a carp next and we've done it all. Look at the size of them pompadums, though. Who said?
He's a virgin on bream, isn't he?
That might be a bream. That's 2 pounds and like 10 ounces, that one. Look at that, right in top lip. Ba-doing. Who says pompanoms don't feed shallow? Well, they do. I've just caught one shallow. Actually, how do the lovely lot know back home that it's not that deep out there and I'm fishing on a sunken island? I'm not really.
Because you're an honest sort of guy and you wouldn't.
I am honest. You'd trust me, wouldn't you? Trust me with your beer, wouldn't you?
Robert Washington, could you do a video from draw to start a match? So loading trolley, setting up, deciding where to fish in your peg. We were saying
again, this is something we need to do, isn't it?
Yeah, we might do this on basics at some point soon. Probably not in a match, but in a pleasure session on a venue that you've not fished before.
Yeah.
All that sort of thing. A couple of people saying it's actually looking all right, so must all be working.
Am I looking nice and crystal clear and everything?
Steve Edney, is it all for free? If you're asking about basics videos, yeah, just search Winning Ways Basics on YouTube.
Is he the one who's asking about the kids and instructionals?
Yeah. Most your sort of basic commercial fishing we've covered on there over the last year or two. Who was it? Martin Bryden. How are people feeding 10 pints of casters and meat in a match? I struggle to get my head around it.
How are they?
Yeah.
Just big pouchfuls all the time, you know. It might be, I mean, obviously the trend's changed over the last few years with fishing shallow, from having sort of like say one swim. A lot of the time now, you know, that shallow fishing is, you can have a swim either side down the edge if you've got cover, and you can have one or two across as well. You might want one down the middle, so that's how you can get through a lot of bait. I know how I do it, I'll just keep windmilling bait in, but generally speaking, when you're on a hell of a lot of fish and you're catching them all the time, you're not overly feeding a lot of bait because you're playing fish more. Oh, there's another head, because you're playing fish more than anything, you know what I mean? So but yeah, you can definitely get through it. Ooh, angry head, what's he doing being angry? Get just look at the size of them, folks. Go on, the heads, aren't they? Oh, he's got a bit of Argos on him. Get him off.
Bit of what?
Argos. Have you not seen Argos?
I thought you said Argos.
No, them little, like, getting on that. Can you get it on my thumb, James? They like attach themselves to fish and like irritate them. Horrible little things.
A bit like you. Bit
Hey?
irritating.
You what?
What?
Ah, shut up. You being nasty.
No, would I be nasty?
Go on, Ids.
Lee Wilson, Andy, do you still use line direct to your elastic when fishing hard on the bottom, or do you use a Dacron?
Nope, always had direct. So let's get on this. Let me show you exactly how I do it. Doink, 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 doink. So let me take that rig off there so I can show you. So basically, there's my loop in my line. Yeah, I mean, it should be a bit bigger than that, but inch is all right. All I'm going to do is open that loop up. Got slimy hands now, haven't I? Open that loop up, grab your main bit of line, your single bit of line, and put it through that loop. Dead simple. Yeah, so you're creating like a lasso, if you like, on your line, yeah? You see that lasso effect, and then you're getting your elastic. All I've done on my elastic is a single overhand loop. You know that, James? Yeah, a single overhand loop, and I'm putting the line behind the elastic there, and then just trapping it, making sure that line fits over, and then just pull that line down to the knot, and it can't possibly come off. And never, ever, folks, worry about that line cutting through your elastic, because it won't. And then all we're doing with the bead is pulling the bead down, so you get like, you hear a little noise. Can you hear it? Oh dear, have you two seen the sky behind us?
Are we about to get very wet?
It looks quite electrical, that. And that's it, it's such a neat, effective way of fishing. Can't possibly tangle, it's just dead smooth. It's just, I wouldn't fish with anything else now. I'll never use Dacrons and them plastic connectors or anything like that. Just go that all out with a little babby bead.
Right, Angling Giant is saying, Rich, well done, this is top quality. Hopefully it's all working still, but...
And we're catching fish.
There's a lot of moving parts. I'll take a picture at some point of what's going on behind Andy, because it's absolute chaos.
No, you need to take a picture of what's going on behind there.
Oh, it's a bit dark.
Oh, James, I was just scared you carp. Sorry, mate. That would have been a carp.
Yeah.
Would have completed it.
If we suddenly go offline, we've just been hit by lightning. That's what we're going to say.
It does look a bit naughty, that. It does look very naughty. At least we know it works, though, just in case we do get cut off.
If we die, then it doesn't really matter, does it?
We've completed it. Is it spitting, or is it the midgy things? So what I'm trying to do with this slapping is, obviously when I've slapped over, keep everything as tight as possible. So obviously we're not overshotting, we're not using a jigger, we're doing a proper floaty float, them little tiny dinks there, trying to determine where the fish are. Most of them have been on the drop like that, so they are shallower. But I'm a bit reluctant to go too shallow yet. I'd say them could be little babby fish. There's still a lot of roaching and skimmers, but knowing eyed as well. So you saw that, it almost hooked itself, yeah? So important that you're keeping a tight line, and that's where that back shot comes in. It really does help make a difference. Oh, it's fell off. It really does help and make a difference.
And nobody.
Nobody! I've got it on my t-shirt, haven't I? But you know, you'll get that. Obviously, if there's no carping or nothing overly big and there's a lot of silvers in, and that's when you go just to a lighter elastic, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't get that at all, but I can't risk going lighter than what I've got on here just because of the size of the flipping carp. They're huge. And it's only one, you know what I mean? And we're not in a march, so it doesn't really matter. But you see, I'm trying to keep that line as tight as possible until it's settled, which it's settled now. Becomes redundant, so I'm just whapping it over again. Almost sort of like recreating bait going in. You see the angle on that float as it's going through. Get some more bait in, fire it in, slap it over once into feed, and then you'll see what I'll do this next time is slap it over 2 or 3 times just to mimic bait. I'm going back into my tub again. Again, trying to keep a tight line. Yeah, they're buggers, aren't they? Trying to keep as tight a line as possible. Might go a little, try a smaller pellet next time. I've got a 6mm on at the minute. Might try a 4mm red one, see if that makes a difference. Because usually with shallow fishing, you know, you catch the first few daft fish, and then, you know, they'll start getting a little bit harder to catch. And that's when, you know, obviously changing depths can make a difference, changing your hook bait. Ooh, I think these are little babby fish. Come on.
Ooh.
All the time, you know, keep that short swim going as well. Keep that going in. Just going to slap for a bit rather than feed. So I've not got anyone else competing for the fish, have I, today? So I'll just keep slapping. Doink, doink. Not getting more questions, Richard?
I was waiting for you to finish waffling.
Oh, sorry. I am waffling a bit today, aren't I?
I was panicking a bit because it just went a bit funny, so I don't know if it's that storm having a bit of an effect. But we are live, so it will happen at some point. Hamish, a live challenge would be brilliant, especially a bait-orientated one. That's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe in the future, as we start to get things dialed in a bit more.
Hey! Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we could. It's doable. It'd be carnage, but
oh,
doable. Yeah. Stephen Piner, will the Nobody t-shirts be brought back in the shop? Yeah, we have. I've literally got some samples. Well,
oh, we've got some new ones and all, but we're not allowed to mention them, are we? Are we?
No.
Nope, not
Maybe.
mentioning it then.
But yeah, some new ones coming as well, so they should be in the next month
Go on, the
or two.
poppadoms! Look at the size of them. Look at him. Poppadoms! He's a spawny poppadom. He's a horny poppadom, him.
Would you rather be catching these than carp?
Oh, yeah. How quick would you do a weight of them? You know what I mean? Because obviously they just, yeah, I'll give up. They'll just come in. Right, I'm going to try a 4mm red one now. See if that makes a difference.
And
go ahead.
David Whittle just sent a $1.99 donation. We can go to the pub.
No, what can we buy? A bag of nuts? Can we have another £1.99 so we can afford a pint, please, and have half each? Oh, no, thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that.
You don't have to do that.
I love that.
You can if you want. Someone
What,
who's
go
got
to
a
the
lot
pub?
of money wants to send like £10 million so we can buy a fishery. We'll let you all fish free. Nigel Fitzpatrick, Andy will be off if it starts lightning.
Oh.
He left me sat there on a coaching day and went and hid in the van.
I did. I was over there. We were on there, weren't we? We were on Panama, I think, that day, Nige. Or it might have been Arena. I'm absolutely terrified of lightning. Which you should be. We're holding the bloody biggest conductor in the world, aren't we?
Yeah, it's probably not advisable, is it, to hold 13 metres of
If I
carbon.
get a thunderclap, that's it. I am off.
And he had a question as well. Would you ever use a wafter on the pellet waggler?
Never. Tried it too many times and you just get so many foul hookers because how it falls and you just get bows in your line. It's horrendous. No, don't do it.
And Gary Brixton. If it's a deep pool and a hot day, where would you start and why?
Deep pool and a hot day?
Yeah, would you still start on the bottom?
If you can find shallowish water, yeah. If not, then probably start off on a waggler or something, because I'd said the fish should be up in the water, so they should be visible. So maybe start off on like a mugging waggler or something like that, but look to catch him, you know, shallower or maybe in the margins later on, that kind of thing. Yeah, if it's really hot and deep water, yeah, they don't really want to be on the bottom in deep water. They're not liking that formula as much, are they?
Right, well, whilst you're slapping away, I'll go to the wide one.
Oh, apart from that one.
Oh. I was just going to ask Elliot's question about slapping, but
Oh, it's fell off.
that's perfect timing then.
Go on then.
When you're slapping,
Yeah.
is it an up and down motion or a circular motion?
Right,
on
so
about slapping
let
the
me
pole.
show you. When you're slapping, it's all through your knee, so you need to sort of force your pole down to your knee, and you're using your knee to slap. Imagine a clock, so 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. When you're going to slap, whichever way what we're going to say, wind dictates it. If it's not bright, if it's bright and you've got a shadow, then that dictates it. And what I mean by that is, if your pole's casting a shadow, so the pole was casting a shadow on the left hand side, I wouldn't want to be casting into my shadow. I'd want to cast the other way. So if it's not, if it's like overcast like it is, you always get a preferred way of slapping. Now what you're doing is you're bringing your pole out to either 11 o'clock or, no, sorry, 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So you're not rolling it around like that or anything. You're literally coming straight up and then down, straight up and then down. Now, have you got zoomed in on that, James? Get zoomed in on slapping, because the biggest problem I see when anglers are slapping is this. I'm going to slap 3 times now, and you watch what I see all the time. So on the third slap, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you see that float come back? That's what I see all the time. Now what's happening? The fish are getting used to that noise, but if your rig's bouncing back, there's nothing there, there's no hook bait there. So what you've got to try and anticipate, I'm going to do 3 slaps again. Now you watch the difference this time. So 1, 2, 3. You need to leave your pole there and put it slightly over towards where your float is. And you just do exactly the same, missed a bite then, just do exactly the same if you're slapping the other way. So I'm going to come out at 11 o'clock this time and go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, put your pole over and then move your pole back so you're creating that tight line. Hey! Yeah, it's as simple as that. It will take some getting used to, but it's all about using your knee rather than your arms. You know, I see anglers use their arms a lot, and it's just not the way to do it. It's just not, I tell you.
Ryan's asking.
Cheers, mate.
Ryan's asking, when are you going to actually catch a carp?
I can't see any carp. No point going for them if you can't see them. It's not an overly carpy lake, they're just absolutely massive.
You did catch a large one just before we went.
Yeah, we mugged him, didn't we? I have got a mugging rig set up, but I've not seen any cruising or anything, which is a good thing. How can you turn down catching them beauties? Oh, he's having a poo. Wee. Nope, he's having a poo, not a wee.
Nice. Steve Edney, Rich, when are you going to join in on a challenge and show these boys how it's done? I've not fished a match for about 3 months, have I?
Where do you reckon your last one was? Was it Carney's on that Silvers?
Yeah, I had a little spell at Carney's, which was quite nice, but I've not fished a carp match this year. I've been distracted with tension.
This,
Dream.
lots of wires and cameras.
Yeah,
That's what you've been distracted with.
but we'll probably have a little comeback in, when is it, September, October, when all the silverfish matches
We
start.
need to have a 3-off, don't we? Yeah, you
do
in
what?
the middle of me and J Lad. That's what we need. You right in the middle, Richard. Eesh.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Jamie involved. I'd have a go with you.
Ah, shut up.
As long as it's tapping pellets for skimmers.
Oh yeah, no, can't do that. Strike too hard. Pellet falls off.
Jamie Wayne, I think it's Jamie. It's down as Jambon, and I'm pretty sure it's Jamie.
Go ahead.
I've just seen the new summer Preston release. Is there anything Andy can take the main credit for? And you did a great job of modelling, particularly with a bucket of water.
I told you about the water one. It was such a hot day. Yeah, the little spiker thing for your elastic. You know, where like a diamond eye thing.
What, the one that Matrix do?
Yeah, but I didn't know that. I actually generally didn't know it. Go on, the spikers.
Oh, love it. And we can go for a pint now. Stephen Piner sent a £5. Good to hear about the teas and new merch.
Oh, go on, Stephen. Thank you very much, mate. Oh, that's ace.
We could just do this full time, and
That is like proper. Anyway, yeah, it's good. It's good going full time, isn't it? It's gone a bit pungy out there now.
it feels like it's about to rain though, doesn't it?
It does. That's Yeah, looks a bit electrically.
We'll see. Give it 10 more minutes and then hopefully try and avoid dying. Sean Jones, need a stiff pole as his MAP 301's a floppy old mess.
It needs a stiff pole.
Don't know if he's asking a question or...
Oh, he's fell off. What, a map? What's he got, a map?
Yeah, MAP 301.
Right, obviously go and have a look at them all in the pole alley, but MAP have just released some phenomenal new poles, so all your top kits will interchange with them, you know what I mean, so go and have a look at them. But, you know, all the poles will be out in the pole alley, so go and check them, definitely.
Ooh,
Something's happened, it's like dropped a little bit, hasn't it, like pressure's dropped or changed or something. Isn't it? Something's definitely changed. Might come back short on the bottom, you know.
BF Fishing. What? Oh, what's the pole end bung you're using?
That is WE Products. So, what's it called? Wendy Etchells makes them. WE Products. You can get in on the bottom of that. They do two sizes. If you order them, you get two. You get one for your 13 metre up to your 16 metre. Oh, I think it goes in your 11 as well. And then you get another one that goes in like your number 5 section, I think. 5 or 6 section. Yeah, proper.
I don't know if you can still get, like, they seem to have disappeared off the face of the earth, don't they?
Oh, there's a carp there, that's why. Have they?
Josh Finnerty, where's Jamie of the Howes? Don't know.
We don't know what he's been doing today. I don't know if he's been fishing or not.
It might have been a day off. He might have gone to the zoo or something.
Yeah, he likes his zoos, doesn't he?
But yeah, we just thought...
Ooh, hey, go on the jumpers.
Yeah, we just thought we'd come down to Cudmore, nice local one, and play about with the kit, make sure everything's working. John Potts asking about the Nobody t-shirts. Probably won't be in stock. What are we in now? No, don't think they'll be in stock then, mate, but they will be in stock at some point in the future. We're getting them as quick as we can. We didn't expect them to sell out as quick as possible. As quick as it did. Mark Lim, hi Andy.
Go ahead.
Going back to slapping, can you slap on the short line, say 6 to 7 metres?
Yeah, of course you can. No right and wrong with way slap, you know, even on the top kit, like into cover, up the edge, wherever. Yeah, definitely.
What's that going to be more on your heavier stock venues where you catch them?
Yeah, sort of snaky legs if you like. Or if you've got the depth, you know, I could probably catch shallow, short, but my short line, I want to, you know, sort of try and pin them on the bottom a bit more. Because out shallow, that's where, you know, out long shallow, that's where my main bulk of fish is going to come and they're going to stay with you a little bit longer and be a bit more confident. So that's why I like to, you know, keep my shallow swim a little bit further out on open water. But on snaky legs, just come right short, right down the middle.
Oh, that's cool. Right.
Go ahead.
So there's a thing you can do that I've never seen anyone do before. You can gift memberships. So Nigel has just sent 5 Winning Ways memberships. So it just randomly gives everyone a month of free membership. So
Oh, go ahead.
Ryan Thompson, Snowy One, Sam Mason, Caden Wilson and Reese Fishers, they've all got a free month's membership to Winning Ways.
Oh, that's ace.
Go on.
Oh, fair play.
What a guy. Andrew Pearson, would you start in the mud line this weekend with a rain coming when it's about 18-inch deep?
Yeah, because it's warm. Obviously, if it goes freezing cold and some of the storms have got hail in them, then it's going to turn, you know, that water cold pretty quick. But if it stays warm, it's warm rain, 100%, definitely. That used to be my favourite place in the world to start on a snake lake, on a mud line. But now it's probably a top kit or a top kit and one. Mad how it changes, isn't it? Right, I'm going back short again.
Oh, you're going back short?
Yeah.
Go on. Glenn Butler, how's it going? I think it's going all right. Nothing's gone majorly wrong so far, except for the fact that we might get struck by lightning momentarily.
It's not... yeah. Oops, yeah, put my float out a bit there. Yeah, it looks a bit and a bit doesn't it?
But yeah, there's over 500 people watching, and
Is it really?
go on.
Flipping it, how many would J-Lad have?
Oh, you'd have at least 5,000.
Can we do one of these in the pub next time then?
What,
In
just
the beer garden?
getting more and more pissed with every question?
Yes! Completed it then, Rich, haven't we?
What would the go-to drink at this time of year be?
Cider.
What, like a fruity one or an appley one? Although
Fruity cider.
A what?
Fruity cider. Like a Copperberg something like that, like a mixed fruits. Strawberry and lime, and then lagers, and then maybe a Guinness, and then finish it off with a whiskey. I need to go back out shallow again.
See if you can catch one. Give it a few minutes on the short line.
There's still liners there, still little baby fish. There's something big there now. Go ahead. But joking, like obviously when we first went out shallow, folks, yeah, it was good. And then the last sort of 5 minutes wasn't as good. There's still odd fish there, but it wasn't as good. So by priming it, resting it, keeping that bait going in, when we go back on it again, it'll be just like it was when you're first starting off. And it can be like that sometimes, fishing. Go on, wood pigeons. You know, certainly that shallow swim. Some days they'll be there. Ooh! I thought it was going to be a jumper. Some days they'll stay there all day. Other days, you've got to, you know, have a spell, rest it, have another spell, rest it, that kind of thing. That's usually what happens. Go on, the pompadons. So good, isn't it? So good.
Right. We have got questions.
Go ahead.
Joshua Finity, throwing by hand on your short line.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that bring them up shallow in the water like you're doing out long?
No, because you've seen how I'm feeding that one. It's bigger pellets and nowhere near as much and nowhere near as often. Because I want to pin them on the bottom.
Oh, right. Sean wasn't actually asking for a stiff pole advice. He was just saying you need one for slapping.
You need a what?
You do need a stiff pole when you're slapping.
No, I think the opposite sometimes. Certainly the longer you go, I think a little bit more flex in the pole is better for slapping.
But you'd still use short fours and short kits and...
Not for slapping for carp. For F1s, yeah, probably. But if it's carp, then you need to go longer sections and longer kits because you want that little bit of flexibility. Certainly when you're going like 14.5 and 16.
Nice.
Definitely.
Roy Cooling, what's a shortish lash you'd use on any line?
Well, for shallow fishing, as whatever, you know, the rules allow. You know, if it's 4 inches, I'll go 4 inches for shallow fishing. But in general, I don't like to go too short because I like to use back shots. So probably what I am now, what's that? Like 12 or 14 inches or something. I don't like to go really, really short. Because I always think if that wing gets up and you've got it too short, then obviously, well, you just add line to it basically, don't you? But out long as well, I don't like going too short. I always like to have it sort of minimum of, say, yeah, 14 inches. 14 to 20 inches. The back shots.
Gaz is saying, oh, what's your favourite commercial fishery of all time and why?
I mean, this takes some beating. This is one of the first commercials I ever came to. It does take some beating, this. Springvale's one, innit, Rich? Flipping it, that Springvale takes some beating now.
For saying how it's popped, like, almost popped up onto the sea.
Yeah, yeah, I'm going to say Springvale.
Oh, is it?
What's this? This might be a big head, you know. Oh! We've caught an head on the short line. They just love pellets, look at him. Pellet nom-noms, pellets, look at him for an head. He's not happy. Go on, he heads. He's had a bit of a battering, hasn't he? Right old bruiser, him. Right, one more go short and we'll go back out long so I can show you what I mean by giving it a rest. Go on, Richard.
Andrew Pearson. Oh no, the picture and sound quality is brilliant, lads. Jack Jarvis, afternoon, mate. BF Fishing, one final Andy would really want to win again.
I'd love to get in the Maver. I've only ever got in it once, and that was when he was at
Larford.
Yeah, Larford. That was 2012. I'd love to get in the Hayfield one. I think it'd proper suit me.
Right.
But it'd help if I went in some qualifiers, wouldn't it?
Dave Clayton, this is probably quite a good time to ask it.
Go ahead.
Can you tell me exactly what the back shot do?
Yeah, so back shots, right, I'm going to hold them out there so you can see how they're keeping a tight line from my back shot there to my float. If I didn't have them on and we had a little bit of tow, I mean, my float's going to sink now, but to demonstrate, my pole would have to be over there somewhere just to keep my float on my marker, whereas when I've got back shots on, I can have my pole right over my float and just keep everything nice and tight. That's what they're designed for, really, just keeping your line nice and tight so that I'm not going to say don't miss bites, because you do miss bites, but you don't miss as many bites, but it's just that presentation, just keeping everything nice and tight. I fish mine different to Jay, doesn't he? He sinks his in the water like that. Whereas I like to have mine just out, just so it's keeping everything tight and I can see it keeping everything tight.
Yeah, I think Jamie does it where it's just above halfway, so you can't really totally sink your float.
Yeah.
Andrew Pearson, when using maggot shallow, do you hook them or use a band?
Banded's probably better for sort of warmer weather shallow fishing, but in the winter just side hook them. Definitely makes a big difference. I don't band them in the winter at all.
What bands do you use?
Just the Preston ones, the small Preston ones. If I've got any. Yeah, them ones.
Nice.
I'll be on them. I'll be on them. Go on, James.
We're just moving the brolly around. It was getting in the way.
Looks like it's going to rain. Yeah, we're on them. Them ones, little Preston small ones, and I use the same ones in the medium for 6mm pellets plus 6 and 8mm pellets.
Right.
I reckon I move that. I'm going to leave that in again, and I'm going to go back out shallow.
So Steve Edney,
Go ahead.
do you think you could win a match with just rods or poles, or are poles essential?
No, I think you can do, but obviously the beauty of the pole is you can't beat it for accuracy. In general, a lot of our fishing, the matches we go in, you can't compete if you're fishing with a rod, you know, Snake Lakes and things like that. But open water like this, you know, we've got an island over there. If we started off on that and had a good run of carp, a mixture of the two is always better than one or the other.
Yeah. Well, it's venue dependent as well, isn't it? Your big reservoirs and stuff like that will mostly be rod fishing.
Yeah.
But we keep saying we need to do a video on that at some point, like go into a commercial that is pretty much pole orientated and just try it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Stephen Piner, do you think the new Preston X55 pole is a good all-rounder for carp and silvers?
Oh yeah, it's superb, Stephen. The lad who I coached on what is it, Tuesday today? So not Monday, Friday last week, flipping it. I was well impressed with it, especially when we put the short 3 and the short kits on. Awesome. But it's got that flexibility as well, that it's like perfect for carp. It's lovely and strong. Yeah, definitely recommend that. What is it, another poppadom? Another poppadom. No big fish rocked up there. Right, we're going to, oh, he's fell off.
Oh,
Safe release. Right, let's go back out shallow and I'll show you what I mean by giving them swims a rest. Go on, the crows. He's like, pack up, I want to eat your bait. So we've got our red pellet on there. We're at the same depth. So hopefully it'll be like it is when we started off again. What are we going for? What species are we going for?
A rogue carp.
Are you going carp this time? Where are you going, James? Id. Oh, I've just spooked a car. You could have been right then, Rich. Look at the bow wave. Oh dear, I'm going poppadom.
Martin, yeah, if we disappear very quickly, it does feel like it's about to rain.
It's gone cold and it's windy, innit?
So we said we'd do an hour, so we're about 6 minutes off. So we're almost there.
We run away in a minute.
Martin Bryden, is a rodcast going to make a comeback? Yeah, it will do soon, or at some point when we get time.
Yeah.
Generally a winter thing, isn't it? Because we can go hide in a pub or something. And
I don't want to hook a carp now if it's going to be stormy, but there's a lot of carp around there. Oh dear.
Right, Ryan, every venue I've been to, I've been setting top kit up, top kit and 1, top kit and 2, and chancing fishing up and down the shelf. Do you do it much, Andy? It's double my weights covering all these depths.
Not really. I mean, early season I will do, but generally this time of year I'm pretty stuck in my ways in that I'll start off, you know, these kind of waters, I'll start off short, work my way out shallow and then come in the edges. I don't really chase them a lot. Stubborn like that, I suppose. Ooh, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? Could be an id. Who said id? Go on, the cameraman. He's sat there, arms aloft. He knows. It might be a poppadom yet. I don't know. It looked like an id. Thank God it wasn't a carp because it looks a little bit angry. I'm carp. Oh, it might be a poppadom. Rich might be right. Oh no, I said poppadom, didn't I?
I said carp, didn't I?
It is poppadom, sorry. Go on the poppadoms, look at the size of them. Yeah boy. Proper uns. Look at them. Ooh. Right uns them, aren't they?
I reckon. Do you want to catch one more?
Yeah.
Steve Williams, any top tips for fishing Spring Vale is going in July?
Just fill it in and fish shallow. If you draw that Duchess one, it's all pellets. Everywhere else, as many casters and maggots as you can, fish shallow and then in your edges. That's it. It's what a venue that is. I think we just said, haven't we? It's probably my favourite commercial in the world, that one.
Yeah.
Other
Gary,
than this place, I do love this place.
Gary Brixton. What shotting pattern would you have when you're fishing down the edge?
Oh, put my edge one away. Right, so two different ones. If it's a deep edge and you can't get right tight into banking, you want sort of like strung out shots or like a tapered shotting pattern. If you can get into banking, like same on a mud line, right tight into the edge, and it's 2 foot and less, you want a little bulk and either 3 or 4 inch hook length. Done, that's it.
Nice. Right.
Quite heavy though, yeah, like 414s or 0.4 floats for that, and then 412s if it's a bit deeper, or 410s even. Is it raining?
I reckon we've got one more fish and then we'll call it. Catherine Portillo, have you used a new Duracarp 8 metre and how does it compare to the Edge Monster?
Yes, I have. I used it a few weeks ago doing the promo for the Preston products that have just been released today. It was a superb pole. It's very similar to the Edge Monster, probably not as responsive as you'd imagine because obviously the price factor, but it's still more than capable. I was really impressed with it. Very, very nice pole. For the price, it's phenomenal. What was that? He did not like getting hooked then.
Was that a massive bream?
It might be. He tried to jump out, but he couldn't. Wow. Ooh.
Mark Crowther's asking favourite commercial. You said Springvale, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh.
But I think there's loads that we love, isn't there? There's here, there's Docklow, there's Partridge. There's too many, but Springvale's, yeah, it's a bit special.
So yeah, I think we'll use this as a last fish before we get absolutely...
It is just spitting a minute, innit? My lad's going to get soaked, isn't he, on the golf course? Oh dear. Right, come on to Poppadoms. That's been a right one. We've actually caught loads of fish and everything. Same with no carp, but that, I couldn't think of a better fish to end on than the beautiful £1 7-ounce skimmery bob. Remember that?
I think so.
Right here, and he's 10 out of 10 as well. Ba-doing! That's proper that. Right, enjoyed that folks. Hope you have. Thanks very much for watching everyone. Right, enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I'm flipping freezing now. It's a good job I got my bib and brace covering my nipples because you'd see them otherwise. But yeah, that's been right good that. Thank you very much. We're going to do this again, aren't we, Rich?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. I'm going to press end and hopefully it ends. But thank you very much for watching.
Thank you everyone. See you later. Pub, pub, pub.
That seemed to work.
That hour's gone so quick.